Why did I say it like an item? He's ever just take a wish and then start asking, yo, pour your fucking green bitchy acid on my face. Reapers, what's this good? It's your boy Laser. He's like, nah. Scary reaction video. You know this scary content. So you live in 5 creepiest and most haunted castles in the world. Guys, there's so many scary fucking castles out there. That's shame to. If you know scary content, you know what scary features, please like button. Please subscribe, click the notification bell, go to stream daily on Twitch. Also check music, 𝐈𝐭'𝐬, SoundCloud. Let's stop sharing this video.
Because castles often have a history of battle, death and cruelty, it's not surprising that they also have the reputation of being haunted. Over the years on Top 5s, we have visited a variety of castles with gruesome stories to tell. And in this video, we'll look at some of the lesser known castles around the world, each that has its own dark history and resident ghosts.
Castles, what the fuck?
So, as always, hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy 5 most haunted castles in the world.
I love castles, man. There's something so interesting about castles. Something so unique about them, you know what I'm saying?
𝐵𝐻𝐺, Germany. 𝐵𝐻𝐺 in Germany is the embodiment of what a mysterious German castle should look like. The medieval castle is nestled in the hills above the Moselle River between Koblenz and Trier in Germany. It is still owned by descendants of the 𝐈𝐭'𝐬 family who have lived there since the 12th century.
Dude, I would kill to just live in like a castle that's like in the middle of fucking nowhere, like a forest like this, man. Oh man, just jacking off in the castle.
And along with 2 other castles, is one of the only castles on the left bank of the Rhine that hasn't been destroyed by battle. 𝐵𝐻𝐺 looks haunted, and according to legend, it is, by the ghost of Agnes 𝐿𝐺 and her husband-to-be. Agnes was the only daughter of Count 𝐿𝐺 who lived in the castle in the 1400s. Agnes was a bit of a tomboy, preferring to act and play as her brothers did, rather than dressing in women's clothes and sipping tea, as was expected of the daughter of a count. Agnes was very strong-minded and fearless, and was horrified when she was promised in marriage at a very young age to the Knight of Braunsberg. This was very normal at the time, mostly to strengthen the family and political relationships. Agnes eventually met the man she was betrothed.
Agnes. Agnes, you mean anus?
But instantly took a strong dislike to him. She felt he was dull, quiet and distant, and most of the time she chose to ignore him. As the time got closer to the wedding day, Braunsberg and his family were invited to a large festival at the castle, in preparation for the upcoming marriage. During the festivities, Agnes completely ignored Braunsberg until he could no longer contain his anger. He grabbed her and dragged her to the dance floor, squeezing her tightly and kissing her. Agnes responded with a quick and stinging smack across his face. He was so angry he took off his gloves, threw them at the feet of the 𝐿𝐺 family, and stormed out of the castle. Due to the disrespect Agnes had shown, the 𝐿𝐺 family waited for retaliation from Braunsberg and his family. They waited for weeks, but nothing happened. After a few months, the family relaxed and thought all was safe. And because they thought the danger was over, the men in the family went out for a 3-day hunting trip, leaving the women and children behind.
Dude, people... Never mind, I've never been hunting in my life. What is this supposed to be? Is that a clarinet?
The first night they were gone, the alarm sounded, and the castle was under siege. Knights under the command of Braunsberg attacked the castle, killing the guardsmen as they came over the wall. Agnes was not going to sit still while her family's home was attacked, so she dressed in her brother's armor and went out to fight. She came across Braunsberg.
Bro, it's crazy how nowadays, man, you got people like... I've seen these like... Those videos like trending on like social media, like those people like sword fighting and shit, like real life. I remember like there was like this one situation where someone lost their like fucking hand from it. Oh my god. And like, ugh. But just imagine, y'all ever just get armor from like a store or whatever, and then y'all sword fight on the streets, butt naked, you put the swords up your anal holes, that's normal.
Himself,
you know what I'm saying?
Entering the castle, and she attacked him with all her might. Not knowing it was Agnes, Braunsberg fought back, striking Agnes in the chest. She collapsed and died instantly. After the battle, Braunsberg lifted the visor of the armour and was horrified to find Agnes dead. He fled from the castle and was never seen again. Ever since, the sorrowful spirit of Agnes is said to still linger around the castle, especially in the bedroom where the perforated 15th century breastplate Agnes wore when she was killed hangs. Her spirit can be heard wandering the halls, opening and closing doors, and moving objects throughout the castle. And at night, you can hear whispers and giggling, as if a child is playing in the halls.
That's just me. Dude, look at these. Dude, I would kill to well, this is like a tourist area, but like, you know, like areas that like cities that look like this, like fucking Italy, my favorite city. You know what I'm saying?
Outside
fucking what's that one, is it Venice, is how I pronounce it? I love cities that have like just the old building look, you know what I'm saying? Like old texture buildings, like the stone and all that shit. Those are like the places I would kill to live. I would kill to live in like a, dude, honestly, like I wouldn't mind living in a castle that's like in the middle of fucking nowhere. That's so fucking cool. Like, just, I would kill to have like a castle like this in the middle of fucking nowhere just to my, well, you know, like maybe with like friends or like someone I know, but like that'd be cool as fuck, you know.
Visions of a knight have been witnessed, often late at night, riding his horse back and forth in front of the gates of the castle. Some believe this is Braunsberg waiting for Agnes, as he never forgave himself for her death. Even today, staff at the castle often arrive in the morning to open up, and find the large wooden locked doors throughout the castle are all open and unlocked, as if someone was wandering through the castle at night. They also say that many times after they leave at night, they come back in the morning to find items moved, including the very heavy cannons that are on display throughout the castle. So, although the castle is beautifully preserved and decorated, it has an eerie and dark past that makes it one of the creepiest places in Germany. If it looks familiar, then that's because from 1965 to 1992, an engraving of Alt's castle was used on the German 500 Deutschmark note. The castle has also been used as a backdrop to various films and adverts, and most recently was the inspiration for the castle featured on the Himmelsdorf map and its winter derivative of
Like, bro, I would kill to just like, oh wow,
MO World of Tanks.
Wait, what? How did he get World of Tanks from that? Wait, is that what he said?
𝐶𝐵𝐺 Castle. 𝐶𝐵𝐺 Castle is a Gothic Renaissance castle in Hunedoara, Romania. It is one of the largest castles in Europe and features on the list of the 7 wonders of Romania. 𝐶𝐵𝐺 Castle was allegedly the place where Vlad the Impaler was held prisoner by Hungary's military leader, John Hunyadi. Because of these links, 𝐶𝐵𝐺 Castle is mistakenly mentioned as a source of inspiration for Castle Dracula in Bram Stoker's 1897 horror novel Dracula. However, Stoker's handwritten research notes confirm that he imagined Castle Dracula to be situated on an empty top in the Transylvanian mountains, not 𝐶𝐵𝐺 Castle. Despite there being no link to Dracula, the castle still has its own...
Dracula! Fang boy! Bite my peep me up! Dracula! Bro, vampires are cool as shit, man. Like, just them sucking the blood out of humans' flesh. Just them sucking the blood out of humans' flesh. You know what I'm saying?
Stories. In the castle yard, near the 15th century chapel, there is a well that is 30 meters deep. According to the legend, the well was dug by 3 Turkish prisoners, to whom liberty was promised if they reached the water. After 15 long years, they completed the task, but their captors did not keep their promise. It is said that the inscription on a wall of the well means you have water, but not soul. It is believed the prisoners cursed the castle forever because of the injustice.
Alright, bro. I would kill to just have like a castle, bro. This is like my dream life of manifesting, bro. Like just that, I said like a farm. Now I'm kind of saying a castle. Just imagine like a castle, bro. I'm living in a castle. And then I got like a catacomb cave. Oh, that's so cool. You know what I'm saying?
To this day, many ghosts inundate the castle, and it's plagued by ghostly silhouettes that appear in photographs and violent poltergeist activity. This is usually blamed on the tormented souls that perished within the castle walls. There is also a story that a group of tourists bribed castle guards to remain in the castle overnight. However, when the guards went to open the castle the next day and secretly let out the overnight guests, they appeared bruised.
Dude, you want to know the worst part about being... If you guys come for, like, my reactions just to see the shit I say out of my fucking asshole right here. Literally, my mouth is a whole asshole, bro. I just be saying... But, you know... The hardest thing about reacting to videos, bro, is just my mind. Like, I just be dazing off. So, that's why you notice, like, have you guys noticed, like, a pattern here? Like, in all my reaction videos, I just say shit on my asshole, literally. Like, you're probably, like, wondering that most of the shit I say doesn't even, like, make sense at times. That's the joy of being a goofy-ass butt fucker like me.
And obviously shaken. It was said they were hunted and haunted by an angry ghost that had tormented them with noises, beatings, and terrifying premonitions during their stay. Another slightly less violent ghost is the ghost monk that haunts the Capistrano Tower. It is rumoured the monk met his death and his eternal haunting place after he was caught spying on a nobleman in the council room. He was punished by death, but not by normal execution. Instead, he was bricked up in the walls, where he was captured spying, and left to slowly die of starvation and thirst.
Like, bro, it's crazy how, like, medieval torture, man, like, they'd be locked up in the dungeon and shit. They would feed them, like, a fucking piece of fucking paper every, like, hour and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
many claim to see this ghostly figure, listening and spying on them. It's also common for people to feel as if they are being watched in this part of the castle. The castle is also the place of many ghost hunts, and in October 2001, Corvin Castle was featured in an episode of Fox Family Channel's Scariest Places on Earth, where a family was sent in overnight alone with cameras. It has also played host to the British paranormal television programme Most Haunted Live, and in 2013, Ghost Adventures filmed an episode of the castle as part of their Halloween special. The castle has also been featured in various video games and films. Most recently in 2018, when the castle was used in the horror movie The Nun.
Weird.
Moosham Castle. One of the most haunted castles in the world is Moosham Castle.
Take a shot every time this guy says castle. I mean, what? We're reacting to the creepiest, most haunted castles. What do you expect, Laser? What do you expect? Castle. What was I gonna fucking say? Dude, I would... Never mind.
A medieval castle in Salzburg, Austria. The castle dates back to the 13th century and was the site of numerous wars and conflicts, as well as gruesome witch trials and werewolf hunts. It is estimated that as many as 45 battles were fought in and around the castle, soaking the surrounding ground in blood and death. During the 17th century, witch hunting and trials became a massive part of everyday lives in Europe and the US, and mass hysteria caused by people's irrational fear of witches living amongst them swept through the world, and at the time, the castle took centre stage. The castle was the scene of Austria's largest and most infamous witch trials, which took place between 16...
You ever just take a witch, bro? Why did I say it like an item? You ever just take a witch and then start asking, yo, pour your fucking green bitchy acid on my face. And then your face starts melting, bro. That's normal, right?
1955 and 1690. 130 men and 26 women were accused and condemned of witchcraft. Most of them were beggars and homeless. They were a part of mass hysteria, engrossed by fear of disease and plague, spread by famine and post-war hygiene, and they had nobody that could vouch for their characters and whereabouts. Those who survived the trials were branded and had their hands cut off. They were burnt with iron brandings, marking...
You're always like, would you rather lose your leg or your fucking hand? Definitely my fucking leg, because I can do so much more with my hands than my legs, you know what I'm saying?
Criminals for their entire lives.
Or like your arm, for example, yeah.
Moosham Castle also has a grim history with werewolves. In the 1800s...
Like, bro, name a better combo, bro. Well, I mean, like, to be honest, it's not even like... I don't know what my point here, but it's always like castles, werewolves, and vampires, like, all together. Like, that's such a, like... That's what I think, like, as a good combo, you know? Like, when you think, like, three things that correlate with each other, I think that, you know what I'm saying? Interesting.
Many deer and cattle were found dead around the castle. Suspected people were rounded up and taken to the castle, and some of the residents of the castle were tortured and killed for being a werewolf. With such a devastating history, it's not a surprise that some of the tragedy lingers in the form of a spirit. The current owner of the castle claims that most of the activity comes from the room of Tony, the man who back in the day was responsible for imprisoning and torturing people during the witch trials. His spirit is very active, and many visitors feel his dark presence around them. Various voices have been recorded during EVP sessions in the area.
You should hear the voices in my head, bro. Voices in my head. Weird.
Even felt someone breathing on them. Others have felt hands, heard banging sounds, footsteps, and doors opening suddenly on their own. The Witch's Castle has been featured on many TV shows as well, including Ghost Hunters International, when the team claims to have heard Tony speak in his room. When they tried to interact with him, they heard banging noises and footsteps from the empty corridors, and other team members felt a breath or a touch on their body more than once.
What the fuck?
𝐒𝐴𝐭'𝐬 Castle, Denmark. 𝐒𝐴𝐭'𝐬 Castle, or 𝐒𝐴𝐭'𝐬 Slot in Danish, is a moated Renaissance manor house located in northwestern Denmark. It's as notable for its art collection as it is for its ghost stories. It houses works by Goya, Rubens and Raphael, as well as furnitures belonging to both Louis XIV and Louis XVI. Voigard is an incredibly beautiful building, although for many years the castle has the reputation of being the most
Take a shot every time this guy says castle.
haunted building in Denmark, and the person responsible for the hauntings is Ingeborg 𝐂𝐚𝐳. 𝐂𝐚𝐳 was a Danish noblewoman, landowner and country sheriff in the region, and she lived in the castle between 1588 and 1591. Despite being a talented businesswoman, 𝐂𝐚𝐳 also had a reputation for greed and cruelty. In addition to this, it was rumoured that she was a witch in a pact with the devil. The stories about
You ever sell your soul to the devil?
evil misdoings are many.
Don't.
She is said to have drowned the castle's architect, Philip Brandon, in the moat surrounding the castle, to prevent him from ever building another building like Voigard.
You ever just build a building and then you piss on it? We all do that.
𝐂𝐚𝐳 was also known as being particularly cruel to those who challenged her authority, although she is also known to have donated a lot of money to poor houses, hospitals and a school. It is thought that 𝐂𝐚𝐳 was remorseful for her acts of cruelty, and after her death in 1604, her tormented soul could not find peace in the grave, and her spirit returned to her former home. There are countless reports of mysterious happenings and sightings of a white lady making her way around the castle at night. It got so bad shortly after she died that a priest was called in to perform an exorcism and lay her spirit to rest in a nearby marsh. However, it seemed this wasn't successful. But it's not just 𝐂𝐚𝐳 that makes this place creepy. The cramped dungeons beneath the building are incredibly eerie.
Like, bro, this looks like... I like the abandoned ones. I hate the ones they keep showing, like the tourist ones. I fucking hate that. This is definitely like a tourist area, 100%. Well, most castles nowadays are tourist areas, but like... Some like medieval shit's still going on and they really slaughter people and shit, but like, damn.
And the air is thick with the past horror and torment that 𝐂𝐚𝐳 instilled into her victims. Voigard's most infamous dungeon is known as Rose Donton and is situated in the oldest part of the castle. The size of the room means that an adult man can neither stand up straight nor lie stretched out, and there is no light or air holes. Then there is the bloodstain, which cannot be washed off, situated in the northeastern tower room. The stain, which is said to be the blood of someone killed there. The stain was largely forgotten about until the room was renovated in 1997, when it reappeared after many years of varnish was sanded off. And no matter how much the floor is sanded, the stain always reappears again after a few days.
Y'all have shit stains on your bed?
Another strange anomaly at the castle is the skin of a wild boar that is on display in a case within the castle. Legend has it that as the wild boar was brought down on the border, a minor feud ensued, resulting in a sharing of the animal. Voigard got the skin, but according to legend, the wild boar skin must never be removed from Voigard Slot, or the entire castle will come crashing down to the ground. So far, no one has removed it. Find out if the legend is true. Dudley Castle, West Midlands. In the UK, if a ghost is caught on camera, it is likely to have been captured at Dudley Castle in the West Midlands. Dudley Castle is a ruined fortification believed to have been built soon after the Norman conquest. It was recorded in the Domesday Book in 1086.
Doomsday's approaching soon. By the way, if you haven't, if you're new to my channel, hold on. Go check out End Times. Wait, why did I say it in that order? Go check out 𝐈𝐭'𝐬, End Times, Muslim Man, 𝐈𝐴 Pack, new songs. New songs only on SoundCloud. You can't go on fucking Spotify or fucking and also on Mac. You can't go on Spotify or Apple anymore because my bitch ass music distributor took it down.
Originally, it was a wooden moat and bailey castle, but was built as a stone fortification during the 12th century, although was later demolished on the orders of King Henry II.
Henry.
The castle was rebuilt in the second half of the 13th century, and a range of buildings were added by John Dudley, that were later slighted by order of Parliament during the English Civil War, and finally destroyed by fire in 1750. Today the ruins of the castle incorporate Dudley Zoo, which is located in its grounds. The history of the castle is bloody and varied, and it's not surprising that a variety of former residents still haunt what is left of the building. It is reputed to be one of the most haunted places in Britain, if not the world. There are many ghost stories associated with the castle, in particular a menacing spirit thought to be one of its former residents and most feared lords, John Summery, who died in the castle in 1321. John was the last of the male line of Summery and makes his presence felt by scaring visitors, either touching them with unseen hands or making people feel generally uncomfortable. Unrelated to John, people have also reported hearing a cat meowing up on the keep.
Meow, that's just my soulmate.
A local witch
Joey,
cat.
Hey, you object, stay up there.
To their deaths below. There has even been poltergeist activity experienced at the castle. Many have heard drumming noises coming from the castle keep, which is thought to be associated with a young drummer boy killed by a single bullet during the Civil War. But perhaps the most famous ghost of Dudley Castle is that of the Grey Lady, who is often seen by staff and visitors alike, walking the grounds of the castle. Her name is apparently Dorothy. Dorothy was married to second in command of the royalist that occupied Dudley Castle. Together they had a son, but sadly he died.
Dude, there's just something so cool about fucking like sounds like that, bro. I love demonic sounds, man. Like, it's just so fucking, it's so interesting, man. I don't know, it's just so, it gives me a whole ass boner. It's so fucking cool.
After birth, Dorothy went insane with grief and convinced herself that she had left the baby somewhere in the castle grounds, and all she had to do...
This is one of my favorite, by the way, like the audio playing in the background, this is like one of my favorite songs, man. This is one of my favorite, like, scary songs. It's by, what's that one fucking, that Kevin dude? Dude, I swear, hold on. I just don't want to, like, leak anything that I don't want to show. I'm not hiding anything bad, I'm just don't want to get anything too personal. Hold on. Where is it? Project. Fuck. For YouTube. Look. Like, this motherfucker's made so... Look. Kevin Magloyd. This is, like, the CEO of, like, scary music, bro. Like, copyright-free music. This motherfucker literally, like, you know what I'm saying?
Find that spot, and she would be reunited with her child. Dorothy passed away about a year.
This is like one. I think he made this one. I'm pretty sure,
wish
right?
Was that she be buried?
What, did he make this one, or is it someone else? I don't know.
Next to her baby, and for her husband to be allowed to attend the funeral. Her wish was not granted, as the castle was under siege by the parliamentarians, and they had torn down the church where Dorothy's child was laid to rest. Her husband was also not allowed to attend her funeral for fear of assassination. Since her death, it is said she haunts the castle and the grounds in the form of a grey lady, and she is often said to appear as though searching or pointing in the direction of the church where her child is buried. One of the most well-known sightings of her was encountered when a tour guide paid an actress to portray the Grey Lady during a ghost tour. Before the tour had started, the actress was told her cue. During the tour as requested, the actress walked down the steps. However, the confused tourists soon pointed out to the tour guide that there were actually two ladies walking down the steps. But
bro, like, this is my mind. Like, right now, all that I heard in my mind, see, like, this is the joy of having. I swear, I'm convinced I don't have ADHD. Anyone that does have ADHD knows, like, have you ever just taken, like, fucking Adderall and it just makes you feel like a zombie? Like, it does absolutely fucking nothing, bro. It's just like putting, fucking bleach up your mouth.
perhaps the most convincing sighting and photograph of the Grey Lady was captured on August 20th, 2014 by a Birmingham couple who were visiting the castle with their children. After their visit, they looked through the photos they had taken on their phone and noticed a glow as though a light was on the top window level. After zooming in, they noticed on the bottom, inside an arc, there was a lady and what appears to be a girl as well. So that's 5 of the most haunted castles.
Okay, so this video, we enjoyed it. Which one of those castles is the most haunting to you? Or scary? If you know scary content, you want scary features, you need to do. It's the next one. Peace.